My name is Nancy Ruth Owens, formerly of Clewiston, Florida, Henry County. When I was around the age of 17 and a half, I worked for a Greek restaurateur by the name of Anthony Toulis, who owned the Glades restaurant in Clewiston on Highway 27. I had been working for him underage, and he had become he'd become very angry about the situation. What was known, or later became known as the Medellin Cartel, had a body processing plant on the outskirts of Clewiston. I was taken there on Anthony's orders, basically to be eliminated. It didn't happen, obviously. Certain things began to play out, one of which was there were two Hells Angels, I'm assuming Hells Angels. There were two men on motorcycles who came through Clewiston. They stopped at what is now known as the Three Brothers truck stop, but back then I don't remember the name of the truck stop. Back in 1979, it had a different name. 1980, it was known by a different name. There, I was taken to basically entice, again, I was 17 at the time, entice these two men into the cane fields. I was with Timmy Ledbetter, Johnny Brooks, and one other individual. I was on the motorcycle that is identified in Pablo Escobar's museum, the orange motorcycle, which is a part of his collection. I was taken to the cane fields on the back of the bike. When we got there, certain things were, there were certain discussions, and at one point I was handed a gun by Timmy Ledbetter. I had my back to the two men, and that's when Timmy Ledbetter handed me the gun. Originally, I was supposed to go with this man. I was supposed to be, it was a purchase for $1,000, and my problem is that I had three brothers, and I was concerned about leaving them behind, because just knowing some of the things that went on in Clewiston, I just didn't want to leave my brothers behind. And I looked at Johnny Brooks, and I asked him, can you take care of my brothers? If I go with this guy, can you take care of my brothers? And he said no. At some point I was handed a gun by Timmy Ledbetter, and when I turned around, I shot one man, and I shot the second man. The first man was dead center. The second one was off. He was hit in the shoulder. After the first man was killed, certain other things transpired. The second man was still alive. I saw him laying on the ground, and he had his eyes open. So I went up to him, I put my knee in front of his face, and I told him, close your eyes, because if you don't, they're going to kill you. And he closed his eyes, and I pretended that the primary reason why I had gone to this man was for his gold chain, which I did take. He kept his eyes closed after that. There were certain trophies that were taken from the first man. Again, this was the one who had the orange motorcycle. The trophy, the trophy was taken. I went on the back of the motorcycle with Timmy Ledbetter. That motorcycle was taken out to, I believe I'm not certain who it was. I think it might have been Escobar. It was certainly the ranch that Escobar used. So the motorcycle was taken out there. There was a second motorcycle. I'm not absolutely certain, but I think this one went to a David Carruthers. And it was boxed up in his garage for quite some time. And so yeah, the orange motorcycle. During the time that all of this transpired, Sermon Dice Jr. came out. Ronnie Lee was with him as well. When Ronnie Lee got out of the car, he looked at Sermon and started moving his hands all around and saying, "Sermon, we're not doing this. We are not doing this. There is absolutely no way that we're doing this." And Sermon just looked at him and said, basically we are. He wasn't going to stop. And so Ronnie Lee knew what was going on. There's no doubt about it. It wasn't too long after that Ronnie Lee just kind of disappeared from the scene, and he went, to the best of my knowledge, to work for Florida State Attorney D'Alessandro, who was also in on the cocaine trade. He was well aware of what was going on, and he protected it. He didn't protect the citizens of Clewiston. Ronnie Lee did not protect the citizens, and undoubtedly, nobody disputes Sermon Dice Jr. He certainly didn't protect the citizens.